This will be your quintessential tutorial to Anime Fighting Simulator Endless. So you missed the old game and have discovered the new game Anime Fighting Simulator Endless? Here's a guide about all the specials, powers, stats, new NPCs, training zones, and much more. The first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and check out the starting area, the general map, talk to the NPCs such as Boom, Goku, and Reindeer. The map is generally the same with the exception of 16 new training zones. You'll notice there are new zones such as the 5 trillion, 250 trillion, 150 quadrillion, and there's even more. Talk to Boom, he'll give you the same exact quests as the old game. While you take these quests, go discover other things such as the first champion pod, which has some new champions such as Toji, Sun Jinwoo, and Light Yagami. Just get a general gist of the world we were all familiar with at one point. Upon discovering these new changes and new locations and such, you're going to want to enter the codes to get a huge head start. The codes in this game are much more generous than the old game, so here you go. Here's a disclaimer first though, if you plan on really being into this game, I highly suggest buying 2x Chikara before you use the codes. This is because they apply to the codes and you'll get a bunch of currency to work with when rolling champions and specials. Yen code, free Chikara 2, free Chikara 3, secret code, mobs update, 1 week anniversary, 10,000 visits, 100 favorites, 1k likes, 2k likes, 5k likes, 10k likes, 1 million visits, Christmas delay, and Krampus. Keep in mind that these are case sensitive, so if it has a capital letter on the screen, then use a capital letter. After using all of these, you should end up with about 1 million Chikara, or 2 million with 2x Chikara. You should also end up with around 25,000 yen, so upgrade your stats to 32 times and agility and speed to only about 8 times or 16 times. Save up the rest of your yen for ranking up. There are codes that give you boosts like 50 likes, 1,000 members, 400 CCU, 100 CCU, 100k visits, and Christmas time. I would save them for later when you want an extra push in your training, because there's quests like 100 million strength that are much more difficult than the previous quests. Also remember to claim the Christmas rewards outside of spawn. Here is a picture of a turtle. Now that you have all of this Chikara, I suggest getting a certain list of specials that'll help you throughout your journey. First of all, go check out the stands which are located right here. Talk to Giorno and get this quest. It's a general training quest that gives some Chikara and yen and isn't very difficult. As far as stands go, they're not very necessary, so I wouldn't waste any currency on this. Second, very nearby is the Quirk Giver at the hospital. I suggest getting either Unity Drive, Half Hot, Half Cold, or Overhaul. These are all good for one thing, and I'm gonna explain which one you want for what. Unity Drive has the same damage as Overhaul, but has shorter cooldowns. It's scaled off of strength. Overhaul has the same damage as Unity Drive, but has a lot longer cooldowns. Its purpose is for stunning for long periods of times, and it has pretty decent range. Half Hot, Half Cold has great damage and stunning capabilities. It's the chakra version of Overhaul with a balance of cooldowns. This is mostly up to you, but if you want to be able to do the highest damage, it's going to be Half Hot, Half Cold. If you want to stun for a long time, your choice is going to be Overhaul. Third is Kaganes. They are near 10,000 chakra and 10,000 strength. Kaganes are shit, and you should not buy any of them. However, you should talk to Kaneki to get the kill quest. I actually wouldn't suggest going for kills directly, but it wouldn't hurt you having the quest as you can passively gain kills over time. This quest is good for if you feel like you're on a yen shortage and your progression feels really halted in the early game. Fourth, there are grimoires, which are located right next to 150 QD, 100 million chakra, and behind 10,000 chakra. I would suggest acquiring the Wind Grimoire as its Z move has an extremely short cooldown with only 1 second and is good for farming NPCs you see around the map. Lastly, there are fruits. Fruits are different because you have to find them around the map instead of buying them with Chikara. You can buy them in the shop for 149 Robux, but I'd highly suggest against this as you can just find them for free. There are currently 5 fruits available in the game, and they are Dark, Quake, Thunder, Explosive, and Rubber. I have a tier list video so you can check that out if you'd like, but here's a quick overview of them now. Rubber is the worst thing to ever exist. Explosive fruit is decent, it has slightly longer cooldowns than Thunder. Similar damage, except for the X attack is much stronger than Thunder's X attack. I'd suggest Explosive if you want a better beam over an AoE C explosion. Thunderfruit has shorter cooldowns than Explosive, the same scaling except for the X attack being half the damage than Explosive. I would suggest this if you prefer the AoE move. Quake has extremely long cooldowns at the expense of some high range attacks and some decent damage such as the Tsunami. I would suggest this if you enjoy PvP and want to catch people lagging. Dark Fruit has the highest damage in the game, and it is the best overall if you want to track how high your damage can go and being able to kill players. Overhaul and Dark Fruit are a great combo. Since Dark Fruit is pretty slow, being able to stun players with Overhaul will allow you to stop players and to charge up your attacks with Dark Fruit. Now, with all of that said about specials, I recommend that you only get the ones I said at face value, such as Wind Grimoire, and just stop spending Chikara entirely. You should focus on spending Chikara on champions and spending them on board 2 before moving on to board 1. Normal Saitama will take about 834 spins, which is about 12 million Chikara compared to the 100 million required for Serious Saitama. Another thing you want to do way later into the game is when you have around 40 quintillion strength or chakra, you can finally start one-shotting the Rimuru mini-boss. Rimuru is 1 out of 20,000 and will take about 22 hours to get. You can kill it every 3 seconds, so if you're super efficient, you can get 1,200 kills in an hour. I would do this way later on, and you have to be smart about grinding because you don't want your stats to fall off, but you also want the champion since it literally does better than your own training. Now that we have every special and champion out of the way, let's move on to boosts and game passes. Boosts are temporary stat boosts which you can buy that improve training by 1.5 times. If you buy boosts, then you should buy a week as they have the best value and you'd be wasting your money on anything else. There are also server boosts which apply to every player in the server and they only last an hour. I would suggest buying them if you're in a clan such as my clan Olympus, since you can stack personal boosts on top of your server boost. As far as game passes go, there are 2 times strength, durability, chakra, and sword, and then there's the less than attractive agility and speed. Obviously, I'd suggest buying these as they wildly improve training. Other things that improve stat gain are premium by 1.25 times, joining the community by 1.5, and VIP, which gives a universal 1.5 times. Now to auras. Auras are literally just cosmetic, but they're cool to spend some Chikara on if you have extra of it, because you can pull off some cool looks such as this and this. Now let's get into swords. Boom will give you some sword quests being quest 4, 9, 12, 17, 21, and 25. You must complete quest 25 first by achieving the triple bladed scythe, and until then, Zoro will then give you quests for swords. Keep in mind that swords aren't as important as your main stats as you only need a sword to rank up for 2 classes, Pirate and Reaper. I'd suggest you spend more yen on upgrades like strength, durability, and chakra and less on sword. That isn't to say that I'm suggesting neglect sword though, because they give you yen, which is imperative to upgrading and ranking up as fast as possible. It's important to find a balance between all 4 of them. Finally, let's get into the bread and butter of Anime Fighting Simulator, the powers, quests, and stats. Obviously, there's strength, durability, chakra, sword, agility, and speed. Agility and speed will help you run faster and jump faster. You do not need to upgrade these as much as the other 4. Sword is a sort of optional stat, but still important as it rewards you for reaching new multipliers unlike the main 3 stats, not including ranking up. Powers are scaled off of strength and chakra, and your durability is your health points. You will also unlock some powers that will increase survivability, such as Super Saiyan. You can calculate your health by doing your durability times 50. For example, I have 6 sextillion durability, so if I do 6 times 50, then I'll get 300 sextillion HP. You can upgrade your stat multipliers with yen, but be careful since you have to spend yen to rank up, which earns you more yen as well. The way you rank up is by reaching a certain milestone, such as 1 million strength. You can do this at the Goku NPC. The main NPC you'll be taking quests from is Boom. While you're at it, take the reindeer quest as well from the second story. These quests vary from really easy to really hard quests, such as 1 million stats all the way up to 1 septillion, so you'll want to take them ASAP. In my Update 3 video, you can find the location of Santa to complete a really easy quest for some free stuff. As you progress Boom's quests, you'll gain quite a bit of power. You shouldn't have much of a problem with them at all right up until you get to quest 19. Quest 19 is much harder than the previous quest, so I'd suggest going for some NPC gachas right about now. I would suggest watching my update version 2.1 video for all the NPC locations and gacha locations. Go for the Sakura E-rank NPC to get Jutsu tokens for improved stat gain. After that, you can kill the Gon NPC to get Nen tokens to get more yen. This should be good enough to get past the quest after quite a bit. The quest after this should not be too bad until you get to the infamous Colossal Titan quest. This is where I'd recommend you use the stat boost codes I mentioned earlier in the video if you already haven't. This quest will probably take a while, and that's totally fine and normal. After this, there will be the Gear 4 quest, which is not as bad as the Colossal Titan quest, but still a little bad. I should mention that as soon as you can do 1 billion damage, or have 40 million strength, you should try to get A rank soul leveling. I'm going to show you every single training zone. After all the boom quests, all you really have left are the reindeer quests, Kaneki quests, and Zoro quests. If you haven't finished the Giorno quests, go ahead and finish them. From this point on, you're independent of gathering power. Getting from training zone to training zone might be discouraging, so this is where the bulk of AFK time comes from, since the zone multipliers can be really low compared to other differences. I would suggest checking out this calculator by Arconix. It can calculate where you need what amount of yen, what amount of stats, and it's overall a really easy tool to use. It can make it so that you train as efficiently as you can, going from zone to zone when completing milestones. Arconix did a great job making this calculator, and is still taking suggestions on how to make it better and updates it frequently. There's a bunch of features coming soon, such as a Discord server, so expect that. Chikara is hard to gain in this game because there are only really 3 ways of obtaining it: codes, real life money, and Chikara boxes. You can also get it by killing NPCs, but NPCs aren't really worth it to overnight. Chikara boxes can be claimed every 10 seconds, so if you're quick enough, you can get 6 boxes a minute. Each box gives you at least 250 shards and a max of 300. 2 times Chikara applies to boxes, so that would make it so you get 500 to 600 a box. This means you can potentially make 3,000 Chikara a minute, excluding what you make with Nature and Gacha and Champion bonuses. Some quality of life things to note are that the auto update speed and agility in settings. If you're actively trying to train these stats, you should turn them off because it's better to have a low actual speed and jump when training them. At the bottom of settings, there's an auto sell champion, and you should only turn this on if you have a good sword champion like Ichigo or Chopper, chakra like Boo, Light Yagami, or Rimuru, strength like Kroll, Saitama, or Serious Saitama, and durability like Kroll, Saitama, Chopper, or Serious Saitama. You should generally run board 2 since it has a better chance, like I previously mentioned. If you need the scaling to any power or special, you can use the old Fandompedia for a lot of it. There's a little bit of info that's not on there, such as the NPCs, their locations, and how they work. And yeah, wow, I think that might be enough for this video. It was quite a doozy to make the scripts and to gather all the recording, and it's about 2,500 words. I want to thank everyone for 200 subscribers. I know that's not much compared to other content creators, but it genuinely means a lot that people are watching, liking, subscribing to my videos, and asking when the next video is. It's really encouraging. Yeah, that's about it.
What am I saying?
It'd be like, hi, my name's Vanity. I'm an Israeli YouTuber. Shout out to all my Oni-chan.
Okay, bro, we got it.
Wait, what?
Go.
Do it.
Oh. My name is Vanity. I'm an Israeli soldier. And this is my catchphrase. Shout out to all my Oni-chans.